Venom is a 2018 superhero film directed by Ruben Fleischer starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, and Riz Ahmed in a story where reporter Eddie Brock hosts and befriends a symbiote named Venom before Venom's species plans to take over Earth. Its IMDb synopsis reads, "A failed reporter is bonded to an alien entity, one of many symbiotes who have invaded Earth, but the being takes a liking to Earth and decides to protect it." I really dislike this film, but let's not allow negative subjectivity to overcome this video. Quick, roll that intro! Welcome to Blockbuster Analysis, a series where I go over films that were either incredible successes or colossal failures and analyze what could have caused either of those results to occur, from release dates to critical response, and then go over the box office results and aftermath from said success or failure. Venom was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who is mostly known for the Zombieland duology and Gangster Squad. His background in action comedy was a fairly good choice to make a buddy cop-esque film, but it wasn't something special. However, Zombieland was a popular film, so the name recognition from that could have contributed to a successful opening. Tom Hardy was fresh off of some of the most well-received action films of the 2010s, with roles in The Dark Knight Rises, Mad Max Fury Road, and an Oscar-nominated role in The Revenant. He gained significant notoriety for his roles in these films, which arguably set him up as an action film actor for the ages. He was definitely someone who could get serious interest generated in Venom. Michelle Williams was mostly known for dramas rather than action films, but that doesn't mean that there was no formidable actress cast. She had been nominated for 4 Academy Awards for Brokeback Mountain, Blue Valentine, My Week with Marilyn, and Manchester by the Sea. She also had 2 Golden Globe wins under her belt, so she was definitely a good name to add to the cast. Riz Ahmed was at the time most known for his roles in Four Lions, a breakout role in Nightcrawler, and perhaps most notably in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. While not having the most substantial filmography, his role in Rogue One was quite memorable, so perhaps some people would recognize him from that. To sum up, Venom had quite a fantastic main cast that was setting up an action-packed thrill ride of fun. Venom was released on October 5th, 2018. October isn't a bad month necessarily. It's better than January and February, when films are coming down from success after the holidays, as well as September, which is widely regarded as the big down month after the blockbuster summer months. However, it is sandwiched between the summer months and winter months, so it wouldn't have as much success as summer films. A film like Venom cannot be talked about without discussing the character's notoriety. One thing that would definitely impact its success was the widespread popularity of the character of Venom. I mean, he is one of, if not the most popular Spider-Man villain, so it would be really easy to sell to mass audiences, especially after the then 10-year box office dominance of the MCU and other Spider-Man films. The biggest thing that would draw audiences, in my opinion, is its perceived faithful rendition of the character, after it was agreed upon that Venom's character was butchered in Spider-Man 3. Venom received mostly negative reviews, criticizing its story and tone, but praised its performances. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a 30% rating based on 357 reviews, with its consensus stating, "Venom's first standalone movie turns out to be like the comics character in all the wrong ways: chaotic, noisy, and in desperate need of a stronger attachment to Spider-Man." Elsewhere, it garnered a marginally better Metacritic score of 35 based on 46 critics. Audiences, on the other hand, seem diametrically opposed to critics, with it receiving a Rotten Tomatoes audience score of 81%, based on over 25,000 ratings, and a decent B-plus cinema score. In total, critics' scores wouldn't help its chances to leg out, but audience scores would most likely assist it to get at least a little bit more money. In its opening weekend, Venom was expected to make $60 to $70 million in its opening weekend from 4,250 theaters. However, expectations were raised after it made an estimated $32.7 million on its opening day. It ended up debuting $80.26 million, finishing first and averaging $18,883 per theater. In its second weekend, it made $35.01 million, following a fairly hefty 56.4%, and averaging $8,236 per theater, but still remaining first. In its third weekend, it made a further $18.04 million, falling 48.5% to third place, behind the debut of Halloween 2018 and A Star is Born. Additionally, it averaged $4,642 per theater at 3,887 locations, a drop of 363 locations. It encountered fairly light drops weekend to weekend until it fell below 2,000 theaters, and stayed playing until week 16 when it was pulled completely from theaters with a domestic total of $213,515,506. This was either almost enough or enough to cover its entire production budget, so with international numbers, that profit number could only go up. It debuted ahead of expectations of $100 to $110 million in 58 countries over its opening weekend, making $125.2 million for a worldwide opening of $205.5 million, the biggest worldwide opening for an October release. It also opened in China on November 9th, and following an estimated monstrous $111 million opening there, it was given an extended release there of 60 days as opposed to the typical 30 days, mostly owing to its success there, as well as the investment of Tencent Studios, which invested a large amount of money in the film. In all, it made a foreign total of $642.57 million, bringing its worldwide total to $856.09 million. That against a $100 to $116 million budget is fantastic. Its largest foreign markets were China with $269.2 million, Russia with $32.62 million, and South Korea with $30.15 million. I've heard that Chinese co-productions pay out around the same percentage as other countries do, but I'm not sure if that's true for Venom, so I'll do both equations for good measure. If I assume that China still paid out 25% of its gross, using the 50-40-25 method, I calculated that it made revenues of around $323.41 million, and profited anywhere from $207.41 to $223.41 million. Assuming that China paid about 40% of its gross, then it made revenues of $363.79 million, leading to a profit of around $247.79 million to $263.79 million. As an aside on its profits, Deadline Hollywood estimated that it made $246.9 million in net profit. My math is extremely close on that. I really did not expect it to get that close. As a final word, I would like to say that Venom marks the first movie on this show that I disliked. I'm not sure why. Perhaps I was disappointed that it wasn't what I expected, judging from the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Venom was really cool looking, though. I am, however, optimistic about its sequel. For reasons it succeeded, I would say the biggest reason was its subject matter, as I'm pretty sure a film like this that wasn't related to the titular symbiote would have never reached the level of success that Venom obtained. For a runner-up reason, I think its audience reception helped reassure skeptical filmgoers that it was a good piece of entertainment. If you liked this video, consider subscribing for other films to be analyzed, and be sure to comment anything you thought could have affected its success and discuss what elements you liked or disliked down below. Have a fantastic day, all. I'll see you next time.